All right. Track and field as we prepare for the RMAC Championships. Director of the program, Travis Floeck, Jordan Burnett, Marik Cummings, coach. Been a few weeks since we've had you in here, and some good results over the last few weeks, and kind of maybe run that down, some of the highlights heading into the conference championships.
Yeah, it has been a few weeks, so I'm probably going to miss some stuff. But overall, we've had some tremendous meets. I think it's been a really good season. Definitely, I think at our last, or not our last meet, but our meet at Washburn, we had 4 school records, 2 in the DMR, Brooke breaking her record and the 800 again, and then Jackson Baker breaking the 5K record. So school records coming. That's great. I think, probably the highlight from this last weekend, Gabby Horton ran a tremendous race at Western Colorado and that last chance meet down there. And I think really solidified her bid to a national championships here in a couple weeks. So that was tremendous. But really overall, gosh, I feel like the whole team, all the event areas are really building momentum to this championship meet. And I think we're all super excited to get out there this week and compete.
This week, you have 50 athletes, pretty comprehensive across the board with a lot of events covered. Got to be kind of pleased with that, leading the program in your first year.
Yeah, I think that's always going to be the goals and the vision here, is to have a comprehensive team, to be incredible in all the event areas that encompass track and field. I think we're going to be represented in the sprints and the jumps and the throws and the distance events, strong relays. So yeah, first time for me navigating this new conference and kind of the entry procedures, top 18 entries get into each event. It's a little different than any conference I've ever been at, but was very pleased with the group that we have going over to compete in Colorado Springs.
Jordan, you're one of the veterans on the squad, and have had some success at the conference meet, especially 2 years ago. What's kind of your excitement level going into redshirt junior year?
I am just excited to see what we can put together as a team. I feel like we're really strong, especially on the women's side, just across the board in all of the events, which I don't feel like we've been this strong in the past across all the events. So I'm super excited to see what we can put together there. I personally have not ran at UCCS for a conference before, and I haven't ran there in a long time. So I'm just excited to be back on that track and see what happens this weekend. I think it's going to be really fun.
Marik, you're one of the younger guys on the squad, and the last few years, and including this year, the team's been pretty strong in the sprinting events. What's kind of your personal outlook, and then maybe kind of for the group of sprinters as a whole as well?
It seems like the whole team's pretty excited. I'm pretty excited. I'm going in at a decent seed for the 60, so I think I've been really excited the last few weeks, looking to have a good chance at winning it. That's a goal, obviously. But I think the group is pretty excited. We have a whole lot of people in the 60 and the 200. And I think based off the last few practices, coach has been pretty excited about how we've been looking. And I think everyone is looking to do some pretty good things.
Say the indoor season it goes pretty quick, and really you work outside all the time anyway. So it just kind of flows right into the outdoor season. But what are some of the adjustments that you have to make going in, from outdoor to indoor for the championship? I mean, I know you race indoors, but you train outdoors.
Let me take that. Okay. I guess we don't really want to change anything like when we're going into a conference meet. Like, we've been working so hard all fall, all like Christmas break up until this point. And we just trust our training. Like, our coaches, we work a lot on our starts. Like, I'm a sprinter, so we work a lot on our starts, and Grand Junction is super nice where like we do get to train outside all the time, but it translates very easily over into the indoor track. Like, you practice how you compete, I guess. And so at practice, we're just focusing on critiquing the little things, and we just hope that it translates over into competition. You know, we don't have an indoor facility to kind of work the turns, but we kind of train through the meets in order to peak for these conference meets and like nationals. Like that is what we work towards, is these later season meets, where as the early season meets are kind of for us to train through. So I would say that's how we kind of prepare. Yeah.
You don't have to worry about wind, rain, things like that, right?
No.
You know, I would just expand on it a little bit. I think Jordan's, describing that we're really just confident in our process and confident in what we can all do. I'm super confident in this team and their ability to compete. And that is probably the most important aspect when you're going into a championship meet, is can you bring it and compete and have that just type of confidence that you need when you're getting in the blocks or on the runway, in the ring, so forth. And so, but I think it's also a conference championship brings a little bit more weight. It always will. And I think sometimes coaches make a mistake of, hey, this is just, if they say this is just another meet, it's not. You know, there will be a little more pressure, a little bit different energy, and I am confident that they can all harness that and use that. And when we do that, that's when you can really see phenomenal performances come out. And my big message to the team will be, hey, can we beat our rank? You know, if you're ranked 9th going in and you beat your rank, now you're in scoring position. And so I think as a program and all as a team collectively, if we can all have that competitive spirit to go beat our rank, then that's when we can do some special things as an entire team.
Mark, what are some of the things you will go through mentally before you get in the blocks and before they call your name to compete?
So normally, like while I'm warming up, I kind of like to stay pretty away from the track. So I'll normally put like music in. I'll try to focus on like warming up over the race. But right before I get in the blocks, I really try to start trusting the process. And this week, our coach, Reitz, has been talking about having blinders on, horse blinders, while you're racing. And so recently I've been trying to focus on just myself instead of worrying about the people next to me, because at the end of the day, it's just my race. But yeah, I try to get in the right mindset in order to do my best.
Jordan, anything special you do before a race?
I just like to take a deep breath before I get into the blocks. I feel like if I'm not settled or at ease before going into a race, I kind of just am out of it. So if I just take a deep breath right before I get into the blocks and just feel a little bit grounded, I seem to have a better mindset going into the race.
Travis, coaching the distance runners specifically, as you do, you hit on it with the school records and Brooke. How much of that kind of success with a lot of new record times and top 10 times a season, how much do you kind of contribute that to the success of cross country season and that momentum, especially for the women?
Yeah, I mean, I think it all carries over for sure. You know, when I'm thinking about the specifics of training, it is one like big long year cycle, and what we do in the fall, we're laying down foundations for maybe what we can do in the spring and the winter. And so, but I think honestly, the biggest piece is just everything that I was alluding to before. Like if being at that meet at Washburn, the way that people competed, that's what produced records. And it was like really exciting. And I was super proud of just the way that they were like battling. And in those DMR races, I think, you know, we were battling Wichita State for the win. And when you live in that moment and you go compete, then that's how records are produced. And so I'm just really proud of the way that they continue to compete. And that's really probably been the number one factor.
We talked about it a little bit with just kind of a lot of different groups coming up. Who are maybe some of the groups on the field event side that kind of expecting a breakout performance this week?
Gosh, you know, I think we're really strong across all the events in the field side. You know, I mean, we're sending 4 women in the pentathlon that are all ranked, I think, in the top 6. And so that's a lot of scoring potential, but just some really dynamic athletes that I think are prepared to do a lot of great things. And then they're going to come back and, I think Hope and Sophie are going to do the long or high jump, and Katie's going to throw the shot put. And Caitlin's coming back in the hurdles. And so they're going to contribute a lot this weekend. And then, Augustine and Christina in the throws, conference scores that are coming back from the past who've been looking great. And we've got, I think five or six entries in the long jump and the high jump. A couple entries on the women's side in the triple jump. And then on the men's side, Antone is ranked high in the conference in the triple jump and the long jump. And I just talking to him this morning, I think he's very excited for the meet. And he's going to bring along a couple young jumpers and Salem and Hayden. And, I think they're going to follow his lead. And then, it was pretty awesome. Just like we have a couple of young throwers on the men's side, and Caden and Van, 2 freshmen who are both ranked 9th, kind of that idea of like beating your rank. But just for the fact that they're ranked 9th and they're making this conference championship as freshmen, and Caden really put himself in position to do that in 2 events down at Western this last weekend. Gosh, yeah, I feel like we've got a lot of momentum, a lot of strong athletes in those event areas. And it's going to be the challenge for me, and probably all the coaches will be to be running around and getting to see all these great performances over the weekend.
The fun of a 5-ring circus, right?
Yep.
Question of the week, kind of non-track related. We'll do rapid fire. So what comes to mind real quick? And we'll go one at a time. Sweet or salty?
I'm going to go with salty.
Sweet.
I'm also say salty.
Hot or cold?
Hot.
Hot.
Yeah, hot.
Cup or cone?
Cup.
Cone.
I would say cup.
Vanilla or chocolate?
Chocolate.
Chocolate.
I'm gonna say vanilla.
And cake or pie?
Cake.
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 All right. Good job. Thank you, everyone. Good luck this week.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Awesome.